Morning.
Good
How are you
afternoon.
doing? Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm doing
So
well. How are you?
good. I always feel bad about getting you up early in the morning, but not bad enough for me to get up early.
It's actually not too early for me. I've been up a little while already, so we're all good.
Cool. Well, we're going to look at websites, e-commerce sites, look at some best practice, things that we look
Yeah,
for in a store, things that customer look for. So we're going to start with home
yeah,
pages.
yeah. We should just set the stage here. Episode 001, the origin story. This is where it all began, and
Exactly.
possibly
We can
where it
do
all
minus
ends too.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, my episode minus one can be later.
that's right.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
let's
yeah,
dig in. Let's look at some home pages and see what's going on.
sounds good. Before we look at one, what's the number one thing you look for on a homepage?
Yeah, I think in today's day and age, people just have no really attention span, right? Squirrel. Like, what were we talking about again? So so you've really got to grab attention within a few seconds. So I'm really looking for that. The page loads, it loads quickly, and I immediately know what is your differentiator, right? Who are you? What are you out there to sell, and how are you different from everybody else out there? I want to kind of get that understanding within a few seconds, because most users are just going to press back and go find another site if there's any confusion or uncertainty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. And for me, I think I want to know what's in it for me. So
Mhm.
we're also quite a selfish bunch.
Yeah.
When we go to a website, we want to, what are we going to get out of it? Are you going to solve my problem? So is that obvious? Like as soon as I land on the page, as you said, we're very short attention span as well. So if we don't see that immediately, then we press the good old back button. Go on to the
Mhm.
next one.
Indeed.
Cool. Well, let's have a look at a couple of pages. Now, we're not going to roast these guys. We're going to be kind.
Okay, I'll remember.
But give
Yeah.
helpful advice. I think that's the idea. Give helpful advice and just have a discussion around what we think works as a potential customer of a website. Would we buy from it? I think would we buy a product from a website that we're going to look at? So let's go to the first one. I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. House fabric store.
Yeah.
First impressions, David. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the moving slider here. I'm not, intentionally roasting or anything along those lines, but as it's shifting, I'm find myself a little bit, my brain is a little bit just trying to catch up and read these slides and understand. This is the hero section, right? So this is the most important area to grab our attention. Um, it's it's a pleasant design, and it's pleasing, but I don't know much about house fabric so far, just with the hero section.
Yeah, I get you on the sliders. I'm always in two minds about sliders because the reason people like them is that it gives more opportunity for more content, but really the average user is going to see one slider. They're not going to wait for the other ones. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it's the design is pretty um, standard, I guess. It's not causing any problems. It's quite simple, which is good. But yeah, I personally, I'm really seeing the sort of benefits to me as a user straight up. But let's scroll down. There are a lot of slides here, just noticing. There's a lot of slides. So I think from a store owner's point of view, it's tempting to think that your customers will see all of these slides, but
Right.
generally they'll just see one and then they'll scroll on down. They won't wait for the next one. So if there's important
Exactly.
information in there that you think you're going to get across the customer, they're probably not going to see it. Let me scroll on down.
This is like the electronic billboard here in the States. We didn't explain based on your accent, Nigel. You're obviously from the South in America, right? No, you're across the pond, but we have these electronic billboards on our freeways, and you're going 70 miles an hour, whatever that is in kilometers for you, Nigel, and it's changing every few seconds, but you'd be naive to think that someone driving by in a car is going to see all those banners, right? It's
Yeah.
only one. So to your point, you got to be careful with those sliders.
Yeah, I think if you understand that, they can be okay. Like if you understand, customers not going to see all of them; they're probably just going to see one. Then that's okay. But it just means the information contained within them can't be vitally important because they're probably not going to see it. Anyhow, I've scrolled down here. Next section. Anything jumps out at you? So for me, I quite like this order samples because that's starting to hit the benefits. Okay, so it tells me I can order a sample. I don't have to trust you with my 10 yards of fabric. I can order a small sample. That's quite an important piece of information. And that's a benefit to me that I can, it makes the trust barrier smaller because now I don't have to invest $100. I can maybe invest, I actually don't know how much I need to invest because the price isn't on it, but it does help. I like that. And I also like this section, and I kind of think this could be at the top because again, this is a good benefit, durable, stylish upholstery fabric. We've got you covered. That's good. I like that. And I actually would have put that up at the top as the first piece of content that I would see as a user because that immediately grabs my attention there. I like that.
Yeah, this is a good point, actually. So far, this is the first time I'm seeing this site. So far, I don't really know if there's a certain specialty of fabric that this store is focusing on. This is the first time I've seen a call out to upholstery. Now, upholstery also is the first option in the menu at the top. So only now we've scrolled down about maybe 50% of the page. Now I'm seeing a reference to upholstery. So if that is in fact the target niche, then to your point, that should really go up top because now you're speaking directly to potentially your audience. Now, at this point, I still don't know if maybe upholstery is just one aspect of the business, in which case it could go in the hero section, or maybe that would be limiting if that's just one aspect of what this store does.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I also don't know. This is the first time I've been on this site. But they do mention it here, outdoor fabrics. They have it as the first one. But yes, if that's true, it should definitely be up at the front. That should be the first thing that you see, because that's really hitting home. If I'm looking for upholstery fabric, that's going to connect really fast. That and also the samples option.
I do like the samples. One thing I wanted to reference there is just that's a low friction, low barrier to getting a small micro yes, right? Get someone to convert and make a small order, experience your customer service, your fast shipping, the quality of your product. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. I call it the trip line approach, which sounds bad because I'm not trying to trip people up. But it's building trust essentially. and you need the customer, the viewer, to take some form of action to build trust, and you want to make the barrier to that action as low as possible, because once they
Right.
take some form of action, then there's an opportunity to build trust, and the second action can be more investment from their side. So in this case, like ordering a sample, then ordering 5 yards of fabric, 10 yards. The second step will require more trust, but you've got the opportunity to build it on the first step. So you need to make that as low
Exactly.
friction as possible. Yeah. On down.
Yeah, I like what's going on here. I like the brand icons, right? This is
Mhm.
really giving you some credibility. It's pointing to the areas and kind of again your niche and where you're serving. And when these recognizable brands are displayed here, that helps make me feel at home as the user. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, this is my tribe. This is where I want to shop. I recognize these brands.
Yeah, and it's a trust building exercise as well, because although these are not reviews, it is kind of giving you the sense, okay, they work in partnership with these brands, so they must be trusted by the brands to sell their product. So yeah, I like that. It builds a bit of trust. It's
And
good.
are those clickable as well? I mean,
They
okay, good.
are.
So,
Let me see what
so that's
happens.
good. So we don't
Oh
need
yeah,
to
go to
dig
category
in
page.
beyond the, right, great. So
Yeah.
that too tells me that we're going to have some good filtering later on down
Mhm.
the road in the buying process. Good.
Yep. Let's continue on down in our journey. So again, you've got some
Ah,
category boxes here.
yeah. So now we see all the areas that the store is serving: upholstery, draperies, curtains and
Mhm.
pillows. Okay. So it goes beyond upholstery.
There we go. That's to the end. What do you
Mhm.
think? Is there anything jumps out to you that's missing that you would like to see on this page?
Well, first of all, great job on this site. I think it's really directionally correct and has a lot of good
Mhm.
things going for it. If there were things I see are missing, I would say I would love to see some testimonials or some of that social proof. I think at the far bottom there in the footer there was something about the Google business page and some reviews, but no one's going to really go down and find that. So
Mhm.
if I saw some actual real testimonials from real people that speak to their experience, I think that would go a long way for me. That's one thing I definitely see that is missing right now. How
Yeah,
about you,
that's what I
Nigel?
was going to say. Social proof, experience of other
Yeah,
customers that have placed an order here. How was the shipping? How quickly did it come? What was customer service like? You're trying to answer those questions in the head of the viewer or the user. So what questions
hmm
are they thinking about as they're navigating through this site? And they're probably thinking, well, how quickly do I get my order? What's their customer service like? What's the quality of the fabric? So yeah, you want social proof pretty high up there to kind of answer those questions. Again, that's just a trust building exercise. But yeah, I think generally
yeah,
speaking, it's a simple design, which is good. You don't want it too complicated. They have category options on the homepage. I definitely would change the order here of this
hmm
section, to have a more benefits at the very top. Uh, and I would add social proof.
yeah.
But yeah, good.
And before you move on, Nigel, can you just scroll back up at the top for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only other thing I would suggest is I think it's really critical to have a really obvious call to action button that you're really trying to focus on It's okay you have a search bar up at the top. It's okay that as you scroll down, you have various sort of second tier call to action,
Mm,
like browse all fabric or maybe look at upholstery. But it'd be great to be trying to really channel someone to do one thing, and that might be to browse all products, right? That might be a natural next step.
good point.
But
Yeah.
when I'm looking at this page, I don't see it jump out at me, right? Like where do I go? What
Hmm.
do I do next? I want to do something
Hmm.
rather quickly. It's a lot to digest before I
Yeah.
figure out my next step. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the call to action is in the wrong place because it's here. So
Mhm. Yeah.
I think this whole section should be up. But you're right. I always think if a customer has to think about what to do, then you've already lost it. Like you've failed in your job as a designer of the user experience of the site. It should be
Right.
immediately obvious. What should I do next? Okay, view all upholstery. That makes sense.
Right.
But yes, that's missing from here. So that's a good point. Cool. Let's go to the
Well
next
done.
one.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You want me to move on?
Yeah. I was
Right.
just gonna say, well done, House Fabric. Nice job.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Good job. Right, we're
Yeah.
going to another site called theotherquiltshop.com.
Okay.
So very different sites. I
Mhm.
would say a very different size of business. That's the
Mm.
impression I get. Might not be. That's the impression when I look at the site. But what jumps out to you? I'm going to scroll down a bit here just so you get a better
Mm.
understanding of the site.
Yeah. Located in Phoenix. Let's go Phoenix. All right. All right. Yeah, I mean, first observation, if I just jump in here, I think the, not to be harsh, but I think the design looks a little bit dated. I think it could be a more modern and more pleasant design. I think probably the first thing that jumps out at me is in terms of accessibility. And Nigel, you and I know with many of our clients these days, accessibility is a hot topic because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bottom line, you want your site to be usable for anybody who comes to the site, even those with visual impairments and any other challenges to consume your content. So, and it's even becoming a situation where there's lawsuits and you could be held liable. So the first thing that jumps out at me is this green text. The color scheme, it's not really working for me personally, but I think most importantly, functionally wise, like the green text against the white, it's a little bit sort of loud and a little bit hard. There isn't enough really contrast there. It's a little bit hard for me to
Mm-hmm.
my eye to digest this. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think as I scroll down here, this looks like actually they have a lot going on. That looks like a cool place.
Hmm.
A lot of things happening. A lot of opportunity to kind of really promote their service a bit more.
Hmm.
And I think just the like old style design, as you say, could be modernized. There's definitely issues with accessibility, even up here in the gray on the white. Like that would
Hmm.
definitely fail for accessibility legislation. Um, but it seems like there's a lot going on. That could this hero section could really speak that out in a much clearer way.
Right.
If it's a community oriented business, then that could be communicated immediately as soon as you navigate to the hero section, and that would make a big difference because I think on this you're having to really dig to find out what's happening.
Hmm.
And yes, the design needs improved and modernized, but even the way the content is displayed is just it's not communicating effectively, and changes in how that is the layout of the site would make a big difference. And really using your displaying the benefits of the company up front would really communicate more about who they are and what they have to offer. I feel kind of sad some ways because it's like a missed opportunity to really sell this business well using their website. So there's lots that could be improved.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. It looks like a nice community that they've built. It looks like they have a lot going on in terms of classes, and it looks like
Yeah,
a fun place
that,
to be for their tribe, those who are quilting. And
mhm,
yeah, tap into that and make it clear. I think back to the sort of 5-second test or 3-second test.
mhm,
When I look at this, I don't know really immediately what you are, right?
mhm,
Are you selling products? Are you providing meetups for quilting? Are you providing instructional courses?
mhm,
Maybe all of the above, right?
mhm,
Are you selling patterns? It's and there's a lot going on here, but maybe just some
mhm.
better organization, more of a hierarchy, naturally kind of drilling into from the top to everything you do would benefit the site.
Yeah, there's a lot on the homepage too. There's too much
Hmm.
on the homepage. It's just too overwhelming with all of
Hmm.
that list of classes and opportunities to kind of work with them. But yeah, I think better layout, as you say, when as soon as you land on the site, communicate exactly what you're about and how you can help. Like, what are the benefits to the viewer? And a lot
Right.
of this content could be put on other pages. The homepage
Exactly.
doesn't have to have everything. Like it's supposed to give you a taste of the company and what they're offering,
Right.
and it's to draw you in. It's not supposed to give you everything. It's just supposed to draw you in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
there's
your front door. It's not the tour to your whole
yeah,
house, right? It's
yeah. It's
yeah.
like it's the shop window. It's not the
Right.
shop. So yeah,
Right.
cool. Well,
Exactly.
that's
And yeah, we can move on. I was just going to say your point about moving content to other pages is really critical when it comes to SEO because
yeah.
search engines and AI, they're going to look at this page and say, wow, there's a lot of good stuff here, but I have no idea how to categorize it because there's so much here. So you want to make it easier on search engines to consume and
Mhm.
understand. And that's why you can move some of this content to dedicated pages where it's really super clear what those pages should be ranking for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And it allows you to use call to actions effectively because then you can have a call to action for this store. Perhaps they're selling classes, so you can have a call to action specifically about classes, and have, as you say, all the content about classes on a page. And that, yes, provides a lot more opportunity for SEO. It provides a clearer path for the customer to get what they want. So it's a lot less confusing. And I just think looking at this, there's just a lot of missed opportunity to really sell who they are. And it looks like they're
Mhm.
pretty cool store, but sort of a missed opportunity to sell it in a better way.
Mhm.
Cool, right. I'm going to go to another one that's a bit more um, famous in the fabric world. It's quite a
Mm.
large company. Mood Fabrics. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. Uh, there's a lot I like. It has sliders at the top, which we were kind of knocking or cautioning against earlier. Uh, but it's not consuming the whole hero area,
Mm-hmm.
and I think each one of these sliders is intentional with a call to action button, and it's
Mm-hmm.
speaking to a benefit or a differentiator, something along those lines. So I'm okay with this slider. Uh, I like the free shipping call out at the very top. That's going to remove a barrier to ordering. And I think the last thing I'll say before I toss it over to you, Nigel, is I really like these icons here across the bottom of your screen there. Just
Mm-hmm.
showing me everything you do. So I don't have confusion. I know areas where I can drill into, and
Mhm.
I can quickly find what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and I think the bigger the business, like as your store gets bigger and you offer more products, it becomes a little bit more difficult to organize that in a way that's not overwhelming for the customer. And I
Mhm.
like what Mood have done here because my eye is drawn to the fabric finder at the top. So I know if I'm really stuck, like if there's so much here, maybe I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, but this is like, okay, if I'm not sure where else to go, then I'm going to click the fabric finder and I'll just click it here to see what happens. But that will open slowly. Oops, this is taking
Mm.
time. I'm going to hit the back
So I
button.
think there's a performance tuning opportunity
I don't know
if
if
we're looking
that's
at
my
opportunities here.
I don't know if that's my problem or theirs.
Okay.
Oops, mood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming it took me really good, somewhere good.
Yeah.
Just, but even the use of that option is good because it helps direct the customer if they're getting a bit confused. I'm looking at the menu
Mhm.
here on the left, which we didn't talk a lot about menus in the last few sites, but
Mhm.
yeah, I like. They obviously have a lot of content and a lot of product, and it can become
Yeah.
tricky to organize that in a way that's not overwhelming. But I think they've done a
Yeah.
fairly decent job here. Like each of these menus has um, sub menus, but even those are organized pretty well. So fashion fabric, I can look for fabric by project, content, fabric type, etc. So no, I like that. I think they've
Mhm.
done a good job there. I do like these category because these are all category links. Um,
Mhm.
I like that. Again, that's due to having a lot of products. You need to organize it well. Um, I'm going to scroll on down, see what happens. So we have more sort of marketing banners here. Uh,
A seasonal element. Yeah.
yeah, that's good. And we haven't really talked about that on the other sites either, but it brings, if I see something that's obviously like updated, it builds a little bit of trust because I know they're updating the site on a regular basis. The
Right.
problem with putting content on that you need to change a lot is that if you don't change it, it's it's the complete opposite because then if you see outdated content on a site, your trust just drops because you know they're not looking after it essentially. Um, so yeah, a lot of color here as well, which is good. I like that. Yeah, and they have an about section. Um, One thing I would like to see more of is social proof.
Yeah.
Um, there's no reviews there that I can see. They have this made with Mood, so these are obviously it's user generated content, which that's good, and that is a form of social proof because you can see
Mhm.
customers using their fabric. But I would have liked to see some reviews, like I ordered and it arrived, and 2 days after that order was really fast, great fabric. That I would like to see a bit of that, but
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, just a little bit more. I think the professional look and the size and scale of the site already speaks a lot to the sort of authenticity and the credibility. But seeing some reviews, seeing, yeah, their star rating, or even just seeing any call out that can remove a barrier to purchasing. Like if there was
mhm,
a free return policy or quality
mhm.
assurance guarantee or things of this nature, it's just going to make me feel a little bit, just
Yeah,
consuming everything you're looking at here, make me feel just a little bit, remove a little bit of friction.
yeah. That's what I would like to see, and I think just reading their shipping policy here, I don't think it tells me how quickly they ship. Because
Yeah. Yeah. If I need this
that's the question
fast.
in my head.
Yeah.
How fast will I get
Yeah.
my stuff? I've got free shipping over 150, but yeah, I would like to see a bit more information around that. Um, I think sometimes this is obviously a lot. This company is quite well known. That can bring its own dangers because you can assume that people know about you and know about your reputation, and they might do, but I still think it's important to have that social proof because you will have customers coming that have not shopped before, and you want to deal with their questions and build that little bit of trust and make the first action as low friction as possible. I do see they have a live chat down here, but that's good. So maybe that would answer some of my questions. Click on it. Oh, I hate that about live chat. If it's live chat, it has to be chat, not. Don't take my email address, please. Yeah. But generally speaking, I think it looks good.
Yep, I like it. Well done, Mood.
Well done, Mood. Cool. That's the end of our first live stream session looking at home pages. Our next live stream, we're going to be looking at category pages, which is usually the first place you go after a home page. Like you'll click on a category box, you'll go to a category page. Lots of good potential trust building in category pages, lots of opportunity for SEO. So there's lots of potential in a category page.
Indeed, looking forward to it. We
Cool.
are the Store Pros. I'm David. This
I'm
was,
Nigel.
and we'll catch you next time.
Have fun.